Zoe Kravitz should have really just sat there and ate her food, but instead she decided to take from other people's plates at the dinner party, let's just say, and now it looks like she's been kicked out of the dinner party from what we're seeing. Just an analogy of what is going on. Hey guys, it's Morali back at it again. It is daily and consistent content. Subscribe to the channel, guys. Click that button and let's get straight into this video. I am exhausted. The way I've been going to gym every day since I've been in Dubai, it's not everyday exercise. Sometimes rest is exercise as well, and just doing absolutely nothing, although you feel like you shouldn't be. Let's get into this video where Zoe Kravitz is basically being exposed for a lot of different, situations. She went to her Instagram. I don't know why she decided to write this stuff, but she obviously posted pictures of herself at the Oscars, and she reflected on how, she was irritated and upset at what Will Smith had done. Will Smith obviously, slapped Chris Rock. We all saw it. We all saw it. And she posted 2 pictures saying, I'm at this event where, apparently it's okay for us to be doing this stuff, and apparently it's okay for us to be doing that stuff. So, it was kind of random. I didn't expect her to be upset about the stuff, but a lot of people have brought up information about her, and she's basically being dragged up pretty ruthlessly in, blogs, especially on Twitter, where it looks like people are just confused as to why she's coming out with these outbursts at Will Smith. It doesn't make any sense at all. For example, it does seem that, someone said, Zoe Kravitz is funny. We'll never forget working at Essence and us trying to book her for interviews, covers, events, and her team declining because we aren't her audience. Then there was another situation. Like, her captions were weird. Here's a picture of my dress at the show where we are apparently assaulting people on stage now. There was an old article coming up which basically shows that Zoe was kind of like, liking Jaden Smith, despite the fact that he was of younger age. Even more awesome for Zoe was spending time with the Smith clan when the cameras weren't rolling. There were moments that I was hanging out with Jaden and thinking, I can't believe you're 14. I have to check myself, like what I say to you. She laughs. He has so much personality and so much swag. He is so much cooler than I am, and he's so handsome. I was always like, when you're older, we'll hang out. Nope, that's inappropriate. You are 14. So it does seem quite confusing that, she would be making those remarks about Jaden Smith continuously, and then interviews now have propped up as well. And, she has put up, posts and stories about how she's not really close or wants to be close to, the black side of her, or that she believes that only Love and Hip Hop stuff or Tyler Perry movies, and, seems a little bit surface level with what she is saying. It's just really a reflection of, don't talk too much, mind your business. That I have learned all of this information about Zoe Kravitz. I'm sure you guys have as well in the past 24 hours, not even less than that, 12 hours against our own will. Nobody asked for this information, and it's just confusing that, she's now facing all of this. Somebody said, do you not care about him defending his wife? And she responded saying, nope, in her comments. So she's well aware of the traction she's getting, and she doesn't care about it. It is interesting that she's making these comments about Will Smith when more time you were trying to flirt with his son. And I believe, he made remarks of, don't go near my son or something like that. It is a little bit weird. I do think, it's not entirely weird. There are some friendly aspects to it. But I do think that, her attitude towards stuff is, confusing. And the fact that I don't know who, there's so many people in this Kravitz family chart. I don't know who they are. Let me just say that right now. I'm sorry, guys. I really don't. I don't look for this family like that. I always see them randomly. But what's his name again? I don't know what his name is. Another Kravitz, Lenny Kravitz. I know he's a big singer, guys, but sorry, I don't follow the Kravitz family like this at all. Someone said I'm finding way too much about the Kravitz family today than I ever was supposed to. What do you mean? Lenny Kravitz dated Devon Oki when she was 17 and he was 36. And apparently he dated not one, but 2 17-year-olds as well. So it's interesting. A lot of this stuff, really isn't exposure, because this information has been public. It's just been resurfaced, and there's just a different generation looking back at this information and reacting to it in a different era. So a lot of this information does rely on era dependency as well. So I do want to factor that in, because some people are saying, oh, everybody was waiting for Zoe Kravitz to be cancelled a week so people can say stuff. I'm pretty sure 90% of the people reacting and looking at this information don't even know about what had happened in the past. They weren't checking for stuff like that. They don't care for stuff like that, and it's just been brought to their attention. And it's interesting because you should have just kept your mouth shut. Hopefully this will be a lesson for her that, you know, keep your mouth closed, because now you're out here facing predatory allegations for acting very weird and talking about how you find a 14-year-old handsome when it's extremely inappropriate, and you said that yourself, but yet you're saying this in public, in interviews, laughing about it. The interviewer who's interviewing you is also laughing as well, and it's just very wayward, weird behavior for you to be doing something like this. It doesn't make any sense, and I think that, you know, hopefully this will be a lesson for her to relax, because the way she's being dragged up over 250,000 tweets in the past 12 hours, not even 24 hours, hasn't even been a full day of this. The reckoning that you're collecting right now because you wanted to open your mouth about a situation and you simply did not need to in any capacity. I don't think what Will Smith did was correct. You know, you should never lay a hand on somebody, yes, but at the same time, I do think that mocking somebody who's been through a serious situation in front of a huge crowd, who she's been very open about it, and you can even see her disdain, is bad as well. And, you know, if you are a man looking at your wife in pain publicly, being humiliated, you would want to defend your wife, or you should defend your wife in any capacity, whether it's verbally or sometimes if it gets to that way. I do believe Will Smith met a breaking point in his life. I do not think that this was a situation where he does it continuously. He just had enough and, you know, broke down and did what he needed to do and didn't even think before he did it. His own mother has spoken out and said that, you know, I've raised this man. I've never seen him act like this in his life. This was the first time. And I do think that people who say or are confused by Will's actions, or, you know, they really are appalled by him, or they're shocked by him, they're just not understanding people, and they're not people who have struggled. If you struggled in life, you would know where Will Smith is coming from, and you know that he reached a breaking point, and everybody does reach that. But for those who don't have those struggles or challenges in life, you will not be able to understand, because everything was given to your hand, and your parents were able to work so hard for you that you wouldn't even understand the concept of what a struggle even is. Do you understand? And that's why I feel like people, especially in these comments or in general, or, you know, celebrities slamming Will and whatever, you lot have had very easy lives from what I'm seeing, because nobody's talking about the fact that, you know, we should push for physicality over verbally. Nobody's ever said that, but it does get to that point at sometimes in life, because we are all human, we all reach breaking points, and at sometimes when you chat shit, you might get banged. These things do happen eventually here and there in life. This is not the first time Chris Rock has made these jokes about his wife publicly. There's been many a times, and there was no need for something like that, because I feel like the previous jokes he was making about their other couples were far less if you look at the full video in comparison to Jada, and clearly she was very upset by that entire situation. So yeah, now Zoe Kravitz is out here talking, and now she's getting dragged and exposed for horrific allegations. Apparently she also was friends, or was going out with Alexander Wang, or one of his friends, and considering what the allegations were about him 2 years ago as well, it's like birds of a feather flock together. Subscribe to the channel, guys. Click that button. Very wayward behavior. That's the theme of this video, wayward behavior. Subscribe to the channel. Consistency and persistency, guys. And I will catch you guys soon for another video. I'm exhausted. I'm just so tired. It's like 2-3 p.m. and I'm still so tired. And I just feel like it's because I've been going gym every day, I've been out every night, that sometimes you need to just do nada. And here I am filming a video. Anyways,